There is a vast monster of a man with a hideous grin torn across the mask that keeps stalking my every move. Similar to a hunter, he tracks us, priming devastating traps amongst the greenery. Extreme vigilance and a light step is essential in avoiding the blood-curdling clench of a bear trap or the clutches of what I've taken to calling the miserable smiling killer. I have but many times managed to get caught in one of these traps. I have nothing but a fear for the feeling of blunt trap spikes grinding against my bones, or for the heavy and deliberate footsteps which always inevitably reveal a plastered, sadistic grin. With the traps and the trapper, it has so far been a constant battle between looking up and looking down. Hello guys, this is 24 Theory. Welcome to the Dead by Daylight franchise. In this series, we examine all the killers of the game Dead by Daylight and describe their stories. Before starting the video, subscribe to my channel to support me. Well, without waiting, let's get into the video. Our first one is Evan Macmillan, or the Trapper, is one of the killers in Dead by Daylight. He was introduced as a member of the original killer trio that released with the game on the 14th of June 2016. Well, let's see what information we have about this killer. We know that the name of this killer is Evan Macmillan, and about gender, he is male. We know that he is American because he has a realm called the Macmillan Estate, which I will talk about it later. Until then, know that the Macmillan Estate is located in Washington State, in United States. About his movement speed, it's something like 115%, 4.6 meters per second. And about his height, I must say that he is tall, and he uses a weapon called the cleaver, which I am also talking about that. And he has power called by bear trap, and I have a sound of his breathing which is like this. Armed with a bag of bear traps, the trapper specializes in catching unsuspecting survivors. By placing traps in high traffic areas and thick patches of grass, he creates a deadly area that forces survivors to move with caution. When dealing with the trapper, a simple misstep can prove fatal. The trapper is an area control killer, able to apply pressure across the map by placing deadly bear traps for survivors to step into. His personal perks, unnerving presence, brutal strength, and agitation allow him to chase and carry survivors more effectively. He is focused on physical attributes and making use of his strength and the survivor's fear. His difficulty rating is easy. Evan Macmillan idolized his father. It wasn't just that he was heir to a great fortune, it was the way he ran the estate. Raised under his firm hand, Evan had taken to running the workforce with an iron hand. Production was always high, and the Macmillan Estate prospered under father and son. As Archie Macmillan's mental health slowly disintegrated, Evan protected him from the herd who wanted a piece of the fortune. No matter what his father asked of him, Evan would do. When Archie Macmillan finally snapped, Evan became his enforcer in what would become known as the worst mass murder in modern history. They never proved that Evan led over 100 men into those dark tunnels before detonating the explosives and sealing them to their fate. The tale of the Macmillan Estate is a tale of wealth and power gone very wrong. How many victims fell to the hands of father and son is unknown. No record is ever made of what became of Evan Macmillan. His father is another unsolved puzzle, found trapped in the locked basement of his own warehouse, starved and abandoned. There is some trivia you might want to know. The Trapper was the only playable killer during the beta. The Trapper's alpha name was Chuckles. In the game files, it is misspelt as Checkles. The Trapper is affiliated with the Macmillan Estate realm in the lore. The Trapper was inspired by Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise. The Trapper's mask might be inspired by the mask of the Babyface Killer from the 2009 movie The Hills Run Red, as both are cracked and resemble a human face. Some renderings of the Trapper without his mask on can be found inside the game files, revealing that he's bald. The Trapper was the first killer to wear a face mask. The Trapper is the first unlicensed killer to appear in a commercial title outside of Dead by Daylight, appearing in the Survivor of the Fog event in Ubisoft's For Honor. The character in For Honor refers to the Trapper as the miserable smiling killer. Every killer has their own individual powers to learn and master. Each killer has a different way to track and kill their prey. Try them all and experiment with different combinations of perks and add-ons. Each killer has a unique power, creating their distinct and unique play styles. Bear Trap is power of the Trapper. The Trapper starts the trial with 2 bear traps equipped, with 6 bear traps spawned randomly throughout the trial grounds. The Trapper sees the auras of every bear trap at all times. The Cleaver. The Cleaver is the primary weapon of the Trapper, a brutal cleaver hammered by the Trapper's own hands from the metals of the mine. Upon hitting a survivor, the Trapper will wipe the cleaver on his left arm. The Macmillan Estate. In the gnarled woods lies the Macmillan Estate, a once prosperous mining operation. Rusted buildings emit ghostly creaks, standing sentinel in the moonlight. The Macmillan Estate is one of the realms within Dead by Daylight. The realm consists of 5 maps and is set in an industrial theme. The realm's prominent color palette is blue. The maps available in this realm are Coal Tower, Groaning Storehouse, Ironworks of Misery, Shelter Woods, Suffocation Pit. This piece of lore was used before a lore update in Year 3. It put Evan Macmillan as the operator rather than his father in the updated lore. The Macmillan Estate was once the envy of even the most well-pampered families. Now, it's only an ominous lot with nothing more than horrid memories of mercilessness in its purest form. The foundry and mine were the heart and center of the estate. Those unlucky enough to be employed by Evan Macmillan after he assumed his father's work slowly started to slip away from all kinds of normal life. Wives asking for their husbands to come home. Work hours got longer, sometimes bridging day to day, and pay was ever decreasing. Evan's iron hand and strict rules got tighter the longer he was in control. One afternoon, a large mining force was forbidden to leave and instructed to meet inside one of the deepest and unstable mine shafts. Instead, objections were rewarded with a visit to the furnace. Questions and rumors arose in town, but no answers. One less worker, missed by maybe a poor widow, wasn't enough for real actions. Finally, Evan Macmillan had snapped and had sealed his workers in the mine, suffocating those who weren't crushed by the initial blast of explosives. Archie Macmillan's remains were later found, a silent skeleton with a taunting man-made grin upon his meatless skull. What's left of the estate are now but mere ruins and myths. Teens enter the area from time to time in a game of dare, bringing back new information about what's happening at the estate. Because somehow things are moving. Leftover machinery keeps starting up. The gas gauge on the generator keeps decreasing. According to Benedict Baker's journal, the Macmillan Estate was located in the town of Weeks near Weatherfield, somewhere in America. It is the place Benedict Baker started searching for the entity's realm. Memory 1235 reveals that the estate was located somewhere near Seattle, Washington. In the game files, the Macmillan Estate realm is being referred to under the name Industrial. There are also 2 unreleased maps that can be found in the game files. Many is rumored to be the map used in the in-game tutorial. Seb's Dream, the Tower, and the Woodpile are both landmarks that are featured on all Macmillan Estate maps except Shelter Woods. And that's it. I hope that I gave you a good information about Evan Macmillan, or the Trapper. But if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel to support me. On next episode, we'll be looking at the story of Philip Ajomo, or Wraith. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, until next time, take it easy.